Hi, and welcome to the Rise Inside podcast. I am so happy to have you here. I'm Julia, your host. I'm a self concept coach for creatives and business owners who want to heal their relationship to themselves, create more freely, and learn how to take advantage of the power of their brain. So, welcome if it's your first time here. Today, we're talking about discipline and how I build a discipline that I know I can count on in just a few simple steps. But before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a like, or share it with a friend who might need it, and follow me on Instagram at Rise with Julia. I wanted to start with something really simple but really important. What is your definition of discipline? Because we have all kinds of false perceptions around discipline that it must be something pretty harsh or rigid or control freak like. And I think that we need to clarify and redefine what is discipline to us. For me, at the beginning, I thought that discipline was having 100% control over my agenda, what I was doing at this hour and this hour. It was completely a false perception around control and forcing myself through things. I thought that discipline was a quality that I had to have in order to be successful and have my goals achieved and my vision come true, because I needed to push through the things that I had to do, and that I needed this extra, I don't know how to say it. It's not motivation. That is the whole point. It's not motivation because it's not light, it's not joyful, it's not positive. It's more of a severe and strict little voice inside my head that was saying, you need to do this, otherwise you suck, or otherwise you're never going to be successful. And I had to really redefine what discipline meant for me. And that's the first thing I want you to think about. What is discipline for you? I'll give you my definition, my new definition. Discipline for me is my ability to maintain habits that make me feel good or that are necessary to my vision. It's just my ability to get back up when I just fall off track. It's my ability to maintain habits in the long game, like not day to day being super control freak or being super hard on myself if I've missed, I don't know, a workout or a visualization. It's not that, it's really more global. It's maintaining habits on the long game for a very long-term vision. So I want you to think about that. What is your vision of discipline? Why do you think discipline is important for you? And you have to make it personal at this point. Why do you want to be disciplined? What is discipline going to get you? What is going to change in your life when you're disciplined? And that was the questions I asked myself to create this new perspective, this new definition of discipline for me. And that's the first step, and honestly, the most life-changing one that I used to build my true discipline, my real discipline that I know is going to last my whole life. And that's why now I'm not scared of losing discipline, because I truly think I cannot lose discipline. It's, first of all, a skill that I developed, and so if I just lose a little bit of discipline, I'm going to build it back up. It's not something irreversible. I'm just going to get it back. And I know that my discipline is built on something so true to me that feels really aligned, that isn't like forced or strict or making me feel bad, that that it's just natural now for me to be disciplined because it makes sense and it's personal. I make it personal and I make it so important that I just don't want to do it without it. You know what I mean? So the first thing that I do to build my discipline is to change my definition of discipline and make it personal. Really go in depth about why do I want to be disciplined? Why is this so important to me? And so I got from those questions that I wanted to be disciplined more that I needed to be disciplined, because I had this vision, this ideal life that I wanted to live that needed for me to take some actions and to go in certain directions. And that's why I needed discipline to be able to take those actions even though I'm not feeling motivated or even though I'm kind of a lower energy day. I just do it anyways because it makes sense at the end of the day. In my true core, in my heart, it just makes so much sense that I know that even though I just don't want to do it right now, it's going to get me so far. I'm going to feel good about myself. I'm going to have better results because those little actions you take, even though you didn't want to take them, you did it anyway, and they add up. And so at the end of the day, you just moved a little bit further into the direction you want to go to. So I know it makes a huge difference in my day-to-day life. It impacts how I feel, it impacts how I move too. It's going to have such a huge impact on my life that I just cannot not do it, you know? So the first thing I did after clarifying that vision, this perception of discipline, is finding what were those actions, what was those habits that I needed to build or to maintain if I was already doing them to achieve my goals and to move into the direction of my bigger vision. So if you're already set on your habits or what you need to do, what do you want to put into your day-to-day life that you may not be doing right now, anything you want to build discipline upon, you now have to train your brain to do those things and build the discipline that goes with it. Because these are habits, right? So they are going to be deeply rooted in your day-to-day life. But right now, they aren't. So right now, your brain is used to a certain way of behaving. It is used to a certain type of habits. Maybe you have a habit of scrolling, or maybe you have an habit of listening to music while you take your shower. It can be something as subtle as just always starting to brush your teeth the same way. Your brain is just constructed that way. It has all of those familiarities, it has all of those automatic responses, and those are building neuronal pathways. So it's kind of like your brain is a car and it's always taking the same road to go exactly at the same place. So now you're going to teach it how to go somewhere else and use a different road. So of course, the first time it's going to feel really scary. The first time you're going to discover a whole new road, and it can be really scary to do so. You're scared of not going the right way. You're scared of maybe something that can go on the road, or I don't know, but it's going to feel scary because it's unknown. And you don't even know the place you're going to. Maybe you've seen it one or twice before. If you want to, I don't know, implement yoga into your day-to-day life, but you only done one session. You kind of know what it is, what is that place that is called yoga, but you don't really know because you're not familiar with it. So your brain is going to be kind of scared and also not really happy to be changing roads because it likes its habits, it likes having to take the same road every day. It's easy, no efforts needed. So now you're going to ask it to put on some efforts. And that's why we often fall off track building new habits, because we give up before it becomes this new road that we take every day and that is natural for us. I personally trained my brain to take those new roads using visualization. It's one of the tools that I use the most in my life and that I use with my clients. It's such a powerful tool because your brain cannot tell the difference between what you are imagining in your head and what is real. So if you're visualizing yourself doing yoga for 5 minutes every day, your brain is going to think you did yoga for 5 minutes every day. It is not going to tell the difference. And even your body, even your muscles are going to start thinking that they did yoga even though they didn't. It's that powerful, okay? It's convincing everyone in your body that you did yoga even though you didn't. I'm not saying that so that you don't go to yoga and you skip a workout, but I'm saying that to show you the impact it can have. Just visualizing yourself doing yoga, doing your workout, it's going to make your brain think you really did it. So instead of having to do yoga every single day to build that new road and to make your brain used to that new road, you're going to visualize it. And so you're going to gain so much time because your brain will be familiar with it way faster, you see? And you reduce your chances of giving up also. So if you want to build an habit, I really recommend you start visualizing it. Even if it's 2 minutes or 5 minutes a day, rehearse it in your head. Even though you don't know exactly what it looks like and what it feels like, you're going to build that up with time and with experience, because of course you're going to have to do some yoga at some point. You're going to have to do it physically, and it's going to help you visualize better afterwards because you're going to connect the body to it and make the feelings with it, have the body connection. So you're going to have a better visualization of the movements, of how it feels. Even the point of view is going to change. Maybe at the beginning, you're going to see yourself from an exterior point of view doing some yoga because you're just going to use images that you saw outside, so maybe online, on YouTube, on Instagram. And then when you start doing your yoga practice, you're going to have your point of view, of you on the mat with your hands on the mat doing some chaturanga, doing some down dogs. Anyway, you're going to have your point of view and it's going to build that road, those neuronal pathways, way easier because you're going to make it personal and you're going to connect your body to the visualization, and that will help your brain to make that road familiar. For me, it was the biggest life-changing tool I ever used. And I truly believe that you can already feel the difference with only 5 minutes a day. That's why visualization for me is such a powerful tool. And that's why I use it with self-concept too, building a new identity and being more creative. It's something really powerful and really versatile, and you can use it with any habit you want, even though you never tried it yourself. The other thing I did to build discipline is to start small. And maybe you've already heard that before, and that's not a coincidence. Starting small is proven, again, for your brain to be really effective. Because even though you're capable of doing bigger things already, you can start by just making your bed every morning. Just a little thing, something so small that you can just not skip it. Something really small that maybe has nothing to do with your vision, so that there are no stakes really at play, you know? If you want to achieve a very high professional goal, maybe making your bed is the best way to start because there are no stakes. And it's really small, but you're going to do it every single day. And by doing it every single day, you're going to make yourself accountable. You're going to build a list of proofs that you can do stuff, that you can count on yourself. And you're going to build with that a lot of self-trust and a lot of self-belief. So even though it may sound really insignificant to make your bed in the morning, it can truly change your life because you're going to see that you can count on yourself to do stuff. Like you're going to have more and more proofs that you can have discipline, that you can trust yourself, that you can do stuff, I don't know, day to day, like every single day. And that's why starting small is important because it's going to give you that confidence boost that you can do stuff, that it's possible, and that you've already done it multiple times, that it's going to feel more achievable to go to those bigger things and to have habits that may seem more difficult to do every day for now. But once you've done your bed, like every day for a year, I'm telling you, like doing yoga 5 minutes a day for a year is not going to feel hard at all. It's going to feel so achievable that there's never going to be any questions about whether you're going to succeed or not doing it. So I really encourage you to start really small, to build that confidence boost, to build that self-trust. And last but not least, something that really changed my relationship with discipline and that really changed the game for me is self-compassion. The thing that was keeping me off track that much before was that I was so hard on myself. I was making it an excuse to be hard on myself and to criticize myself and to have this lower perception of me. Discipline is not a tool that you use to bring yourself down. It's a tool you use to build yourself a life you deserve. And that's really not the same game, right? So when you're self-compassionate, when you have that deep self-compassion towards yourself, you really don't approach things the same way. You don't approach your failures the same way. When I fall off track and when I forget or when I don't have time to do my yoga every single day, I'm not hard on myself. I'm not saying to myself that I suck or that I just am not going to get back at it ever, that I'm never going to have results. I'm not cultivating this criticizing voice inside. I'm just saying to myself that it's okay. I did fall off track a little bit, but that's not a problem because my vision is more global. It's bigger than this. And 2 days of no yoga is not going to kill me, right? So building that self-compassionate inner narrative is really going to change the game for you. Because once you understand that the more you're hard on yourself, the more you're going to have a hard time. And the more it's going to be difficult for you to build discipline. Of course, discipline is way easier when you're easy on yourself. When you're not making it a tragedy that you fell off track or that you forgot to do your habit today. Of course, it's going to be easier for you to get back up and to do it again because you're not going to have, again, any stakes at play. Whether it's your goals, your achievements, or it's your value and your perception of yourself that is at play, if there are any stakes, if you're not detached from this, you're not going to get really far because you're going to really be hard on yourself and slow yourself down and have Honestly, not a great time doing anything. Because if you're being hard on yourself now on the way to the top, to your success, what is making you say you're not going to be hard on yourself once you succeeded? If you being soft and compassionate and loving with yourself depends on your success, it's not real love, it's not real compassion, and it's not going to get you far. And that's all I did to build my discipline, and it has never failed me since. I'm not scared of falling off track. I'm not being hard on myself when I do, and I'm loving every single part of the journey. I'm loving being disciplined. I'm loving doing all of my tasks and habits and building this skill that is discipline. So I really encourage you to incorporate those steps into your daily life to build a discipline that is loving and compassionate rather than a severe one and a strict one. I really hope this episode helps you and that you liked it. Let me know in the comments which step you're going to incorporate first or which one was resonating with you the most. Don't forget to share this episode with someone who needs it. Thank you so much for listening all the way through the end. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Rise with Julia. Thank you again. I will see you next Tuesday for a brand new episode. In the meantime, I wish you a very great day. Bye!